Don't be scared. Don't. Even though we are starting what is now basically our annual monster marathon, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
Todd likes the scary books. It's all Todd. So, yeah. So every year.
I like the suspenseful books.
So every year it starts to get a little scary. Todd wants to talk about scary books.
Absolutely. The leaves start to turn. The wind gets a little chillier.
My stomach starts to turn. So
I'm not talking about ex-wives and husbands here, you know.
There you go.
That's
so. No comment.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we are talking about the Astounding Wolf-Man, which, yeah, if you're watching us live, and we hope you are, and you want to play along live, and we hope you do, you need to go to crowd.live and put in WEERB or scan this code. If you're not watching live, that's fine. We're still glad you're watching.
Play along later.
Exactly.
Stop at Trader Vic's, get a drink, get your hair perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Zevon.
Oh, let's get started.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's.
So what is another name for werewolf? And no, Todd, it's not your ex-wife.
Spot? No, that's the dog. Sorry.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Tell us.
Lycanthrope.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
the misanthrope would be my ex-wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, technically, if you want to split hairs, there's considered to be some differences between a lycanthrope and a werewolf, which, again, splitting hairs. A lycanthrope seems to be a wolf that at one point was human,
right,
but may not have the ability to change back and forth like a werewolf, as we understood the universal monster werewolves to be.
Yeah.
But the terms are used fairly interchangeably because, well, both of them are dealing with people who are wolves. So,
or wolf,
and yeah,
like the Canadian loup-garou.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that werewolves in mythology and folklore have existed. They exist everywhere, and they've existed for a very long time. Yes. As Todd was saying, in French Canadian folklore, there's the loup-garou.
Yes. If you're a fan of the old Johnny Quest show, there's a great episode of that. But
and in American Indian culture, there's a tradition of the skinwalker,
yes,
which is, again, a shape changer, etc. I'm sure there's others that we can go into, but werewolves have been around for a very long time.
Yes. They have.
How long? Do you ask? Todd, did you ask how long?
I did. How long, Ruth?
Werewolves were in Greek mythology, y'all.
Yeah.
And according to Greek mythology, they created werewolves. So who did it?
Yeah. Who's responsible for this? That's what we want to know.
Todd, tell me.
Well, you would think maybe Apollo, because he ties in with the moon. But no, it's Zeus.
Yep.
Yep.
So according to the Greek myth, Lycaon, get it? Lycanthrope, Lycaon, yeah? He angered the god Zeus. Zeus came over for dinner, and Lycaon served him something that Zeus didn't like.
Yeah.
For no additional points, Todd, what did Zeus get for dinner from Lycan?
Apparently, Lycan served him up the remains of a sacrificed young man.
Yeah, and according to some variations, Lycan killed one of his sons and filled it for, made him for dinner.
Yeah. I've heard of having somebody over for dinner, but that's taken a little too far, I think.
Yeah, definitely an awkward family dinner when family is the dinner.
Yes.
And as punishment, Zeus turned Lycan and all of his descendants into wolves, and thus werewolves were born and continue to this day. Mm-hmm. Now,
it's all Greek to me.
The earliest werewolves were referred to in print was in which text?
Way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
In an exciting epic of Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. If you're like, this sounds familiar. Okay.
There was a Marvel book with Gilgamesh, but that's a whole other story.
There was the Smurfs had Gilgamesh.
Right.
Also another story. But the Epic of Gilgamesh it's a poem. It's an epic poem, one of those poems that tell a story. And it is the oldest known example of Western prose, or at least it is considered the oldest known example of Western prose. And it talks about werewolves.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking about oldest known, it's like Todd, Gilgamesh was estimated to be written somewhere between the 18th and 10th century BC.
Yeah, back when
BC.
You're counting in years backwards,
Exactly, as if they knew. No, and also when I say written, I'm kind of like, okay, it was written, but it was written in stone. Yes, so like not a good place to make a typo.
New.
And
no whiteout in those days.
Mm-hmm. Todd, for no additional points, do you remember what specifically about the werewolves that Gilgamesh was talking?
The fact that his girlfriend had supposedly turned her previous mate into a wolf.
Yeah, he was worried about, relationships are hard, especially when the woman you're dating has a tendency to turn the men who anger her into wolves.
Yeah.
It happens.
Red flag. Just saying.
Also, there was, not as old as the Epic of Gilgamesh, but there's an ancient text called the Saga of the Volsungs, which is this very old Nordic
folklore.
Yes, and again, talking about werewolves or magical. They've been around forever. Vampires have only existed for a couple hundred years. Werewolves for centuries.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Long time coming.
Traditionally, what kills a werewolf? Come on, you know this one.
A razor. No. That would be silver. Considered pure of heart and all that good stuff.
There's a bunch of different reasons as to why silver causes damage.
Yeah.
One is that the fact that the werewolf and other evil creatures are supposed to be made up of sulfur. You know how the smell of sulfur, that's always supposed to be evil, the devil, his demons, etc. And silver, when combined with sulfur, turns into silver sulfide, which will kill things.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, chemistry.
Yeah.
Then there's also, that silver is of the moon and somehow harnesses the power of the moon, and that will kill the werewolf. One of my favorites is the theory that silver is pure.
Right.
And that's also behind the reason when you're like, when it's vampires can't see the reflection. Originally, mirrors were made mirrors because they had this silver backing, and the silver, being pure, would not represent any, would not reflect anything evil.
Yep.
And I'm not quite sure how silver ended up becoming the thing, because in the earliest stories, which I'm talking like France in the Middle Ages, when they said that they had a werewolf, like legit, they were, saying we had a werewolf, and the only way we were able to kill it was by melting down religious, metals and shooting him with it, which somehow got converted to silver. But
right, they basically made the bullets out of the metal.
Yep. But now it's silver.
Yeah. So, if you're going to have a werewolf, just call the Lone Ranger. No.
Yep.
Yep.
But talking about our book, now the first Astounding Wolf-Man story came out on a very special day.
It did.
Which day was it?
Well, it felt like Christmas because you get cool things, but it's the Free Comic Book Day.
Todd, tell us about Free Comic Book Day.
It's an annual event, first Saturday in May. Every year.
Free Comic Book, yeah.
Free Comic Book
First
Day.
Saturday in May is Free Comic Book Day.
That's right. You go to your local comic book store, and you can find out which ones participate by going to freecomicbookday.com. And they've got free cool comics that are coming out, which is usually lots of cool new stuff that people are planning, kind of like this book was, kind of introduce the character, kind of get you excited.
Exactly. This came out back in 2007, and it's, because Astounding Wolf-Man has become so popular, that free comic is worth a little bit. And hey, pro tip, a lot of times the free comics, after they've been given away like a month or so, they are available in various places where you can buy comics. So like Comixology, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if Hoopla Digital would have them, but you should always check it out because, they're free. And hey, really good stuff. Proof. Yes. Really good stuff comes out of them. And, free.
Yep.
Again, we're going to mention free.
Yep. We like free.
So.
It's good.
Now, the Astounding Wolf-Man is in the same universe as who or what?
All these other things. One of these things is not like the others.
Todd, tell me.
Would be part of the Invincible.
Yup. Now, we talked about...
We're going to call it that way because Robert Kirkman wrote them both.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about Invincible a couple weeks ago, so if you're interested, go back, check the archives. If you're like, hey, that sounds familiar, it's because Invincible is currently a hugely successful animated series that's running on Amazon Prime. But before all that, it was a comic book made by the same writer who does Astounding Wolf-Man. And I think
season 3 is about to hit. I think.
Yeah, and I think Astounding Wolf-Man has already made a guest appearance on Invincible, but if he's not, he's gonna.
Yeah.
So, and just a note here, if you're familiar with Invincible, both the animated show and the comic, it can be really dark and it can be really violent. It's usually handled well. It's not gruesome, but it's dark and it's violent, and Astounding Wolf-Man is the same way. It is handled well, but it is.
Yeah, this is not Fruit Brute.
This is not, this is not Teen Wolf.
That's right.
Now, the Astounding Wolf-Man, the main character, he's got a name. Todd, what's his name?
Gary Hampton.
Yup.
Yep. Because these other guys are all comic artists, aren't they?
They were. Process of elimination. Yep. Gary Hampton. He's the Astounding Wolf-Man.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Wolfman Jack.
Or Larry Talbot. Who's just Wolfman. But.
And Gary's day job, because when he's not a Wolfman, he's got to pay for the kibble.
Yep.
What is his day job?
Well, ironically, he's not an archaeologist or some poor sap out there digging for stuff. He's a CEO.
Yes.
Wolf
It would
of
have
Wall
been.
Street, so to speak.
There you go. Yeah, it would have been. I could have seen logic to him being an archaeologist, or a zoologist.
Yep.
But he's a CEO, just one of those playboy, philanthropist, inventor, etc. CEO. Gary is a billionaire. The Astounding Wolf-Man is a billionaire. And he's the CEO of Hampton Industries. He invested in software and telecommunications and tons of stuff like that. He is known to be very generous, but a very, 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 very hard worker. In fact,
an amazing product of hairline, hair treatment products too, right?
A lot of money in that. But he was or is considered to be a little bit of a workaholic. And yeah. And well, not to spill the tea, but that put a little strain on his marriage.
Yes.
And then
So then they, decided to rebond with the family, right?
Yep. So then they decide to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide to go camping, and camping is bad. Don't go camping. Bad things happen when you go camping. Especially when you go camping in
Montana.
Yeah.
Nothing up there but cows and wolves. Mostly.
So in an attempt to reconnect with his family, he's like, hey, I know what? Let's all go camping to a remote location in Willow Creek, Montana. No, do not go camping anywhere they don't have Wi-Fi. No, bad things happen. Yes. Have you not seen the horror movies? Come on. Every time camping shows up in any sort of horror genre, no.
Yep.
This has been your public service announcement. Don't go camping.
It's so much of a trope now they pick on it on insurance commercials. I mean, come on. That's what it is.
Where they don't have Wi-Fi, you won't be able to watch our show. So, hey, he's got a daughter, a lovely daughter.
Yes.
It'd be great if her name was Luna, but it's not. Yep. Todd, what's her name?
It's Chloe.
Yes. And he loves his daughter very much. It's, she's a big part of why he decides to go camping. Bad idea. Bad. But,
Yeah. Trying to reconnect with her.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. What's the worst that can happen?
You get mauled by a werewolf.
And Chloe is an amazing athlete.
Yes.
She plays what sport?
Well, not lacrosse, but
yeah, tennis. It's not track. It's not track. It's tennis. Yes, you said it. Yeah, like I said, she's shown to be this just, Dad is doing something different with the wolf thing. He's trying to be a superhero wolfman, and I don't know. The way Chloe's going, maybe she'll be a superhero too.
Whole new racket.
Gary's wife, on the other hand, she's got a little problem.
She does.
And her problem was that she screwed up the PowerPoint, and
that's what happens when you keep taking smoke breaks.
Exactly. She's a smoker.
Yes.
She's a smoker. And it's something, it's troubling. She makes jokes that she's going to smoke. She's going to smoke a cigarette to punish him or whatnot. And I just think she should quit smoking because it just might kill her.
It might. Just if, you drop it in a gas tank or something terrible like that.
Who mentors the Astounding Wolf-Man?
Oh, I know it's not Satana because she's in a whole other universe.
That would have been fun, though.
That'd be cool. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
it's got to be
who does it?
It's Zechariah.
Now and again, Zechariah is an actual biblical character, but not in this case.
Yeah.
In this case, Zechariah shows up moments after Gary figures out, whoops, he's a werewolf, and says, hey, you have, I can help you. I know the ropes.
I can kind of walk through this process a little.
Exactly.
I got some skills, as it were.
Yep. And help.
Yeah.
And there's a simple reason why Zechariah can do this. He's familiar with the supernatural because he's not
a werewolf.
Well, yeah, I know.
But no. But he's potentially the next best thing. He's a vampire.
By the way, y'all, I'm very surprised that we got through that joke and Todd did not say, I want my mummy.
Yeah.
Hey, so Zechariah has been a vampire. Huh?
Just the ghoul of my dreams.
Jokes are never getting any better, ever.
Right. And after all these bad jokes, I'm going to feel the wraith later, If I don't feel the wraith now.
Yeah. Okay. But getting back to our story.
Yes.
Zechariah, he is a vampire. He's the vampire who's helping Gary when Gary's like, oh my God, I'm a werewolf. And Zechariah says, hang on, I can help you. And I can help you be the kind of werewolf you want to be because Zechariah is kind of that kind of a vampire. So Zechariah became a vampire in like 1916, and he was turned because the other vampires, thought he was intelligent and had leadership skills. So apparently you have to submit your resume to become a vampire these days, but
sounds like a pain in the neck, but okay.
But Zechariah handled his bloodlust by only pursuing evildoers, criminals, etc., folks who deserve to die. He tried to find a way to be a superhero vampire.
Sure.
And while it wasn't perfect, he sees a way that Gary, the Astounding Wolf-Man, can become a superhero werewolf.
Yeah.
Because that'd be fun.
What
could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, he shed a lot, but
Now, Gary goes to which superhero tailor? And again, same universe as Invincible, so that means he's going to
Art Rosenbaum.
Yes. If you remember Invincible, Art Rosenbaum is the gentleman who outfitted Omni-Man. Art Rosenbaum is the gentleman who made the Invincibles outfit.
Yep.
Zechariah has this idea that Gary get a costume when he's a werewolf, so he doesn't look so scary, because a werewolf with a shirt on is so much better than a werewolf without one.
Hangs out at Trader Vic's and has perfect hair.
Hopefully is wearing pants.
Yes.
Don't go camping.
From the Incredible
Bad
Hulk
things happen when you go camping. So yes, Art Rosenbaum.
Yeah. He'll hook you up. Great suit. 2 pairs of pants.
No capes. No capes.
Right.
So hey, y'all. Tonight we were talking about the Astounding Wolf-Man. It's available wherever quality graphic novels are sold. The official blurb is, here we go. When Gary Hampton is mauled and left for dead, his life takes a drastic turn. Really? When the moon is full, he transforms into a beast of the night, a werewolf.
Ooh.
But this curse will not be used for evil. Like I said, he's trying to be a superhero. Witness the birth of the world's most unlikely new superhero, the Astounding Wolf-Man.
Yeah.
So, as Todd was saying, this was written by Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
And Todd, what else has Robert Kirkman done?
Oh, a few little things. We mentioned Invincible already. He did this other little series that had a little bit of a cult following called The Walking Dead.
Same guy, yeah.
You may have heard of it, seen the TV show. He's also done Super Dinosaur, Battle Pope, The Thief of Thieves, ton of other stuff.
Yeah, and if you've got AMC and you're like, wait, I know that name. Have you been watching Robert Kirkman's Secret History of Comics?
There's
and lots of stuff all over, but still doing comics.
Yes.
And the artist, Jason Howard, done a lot of stuff as well. So look out their books wherever quality novels are sold.
Yes. Check it out on the Comixologies and all those other cool things too. Yeah.
And I'm showing the winners now. Again, we do this every week, more or less. We hope that you had fun. We hope that you come back. We hope that you're not scared because, like I said, we're doing a bunch of scary books in the next coming weeks. A lot of which we got told about, we got turned down to in the recent Baltimore Comic-Con.
Yes.
So let us know what you're reading, what you like, what you want us to talk about, and
good scary book.
Hey, we're always waiting to, or we're always trying to get guests on because we like it, and we like terrorizing the guests. That goes well.
And hearing their bad jokes, which might be different than our bad jokes.
Nobody's jokes are as bad as our jokes.
No, but they might be different bad jokes,
Oh no, doesn't matter. Ours are still the worst. Worst. So let us know, what would you like to see? We'll do our best, but please, we appreciate your coming back. Like, follow, heart, tweet,
ring the bell,
all that.
Send us an email,
and above all,
read more comics.
Keep reading comics.
And as the mummy would say, that's a wrap.
Yup. All right.
Bye.
At a certain point,